You are going to be so thrilled to hear what's on Shoe and Show today.
The key thing in those brands is being true to the brand. You have to create a kid shoe, but still that ties back to the brand itself. And I think that is the most important thing in building a strong brand for a name.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Shoein. Today is our 539th episode, I think, of Shoein, and we're excited to get this one started. We have a very special guest, someone that I've known for decades. I'm excited to also be co-hosting with Christie Horan, who is our media and marketing coordinator here at FDRA and Fannie and all of the events. Welcome, Christie, and I'll let you introduce our guest today.
Thank you so much, Sandi. So happy to be here with you. Today, I am super excited to introduce Peter Roccamo, president of Falc USA. Peter, welcome to Shoein. Tell us a little bit about your Shoein story and how you got involved with the footwear industry.
Well, thank you, and glad to be here. Yeah, it was an interesting way. When I was in college, my wife is an only child to a family that was in the shoe business for many years. And when I graduated, they asked me to come into the business. So we had a retail operation and a wholesale operation. And surprisingly, we imported everything from Italy. So it was a very interesting turnaround in my entire career. But that's how I got started. I got started in the family business, selling on the retail floor and wholesaling kid shoes throughout the country.
That's awesome. We know that you have had a few different experiences in the kids license world, and I think I met you back in the BCNY days or the Sinclair days.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about some of the exciting brands that you worked with from the kids side and a little bit about how you built those brands. And I know we've talked, you and I, a lot about how the footwear industry is really like a family. Once you're in, you have no way out, right? Mm-hmm. But the relationships that we make are just here and forever standing. So tell us a little bit about the license, the brands that you used to work with and some of the highlights.
Yeah, so coming out of being in a family business, I joined Sinclair Brands, and our first brand we ever got was Michael Kors Kid Shoes. And in those days, it was a kind of a white space for brands in the marketplace. The premier brands really weren't out there in a big way. So a brand like Michael Kors and Stuart Weitzman and Horan and Tommy Hilfiger, those are some of the brands that I managed, and we built those brands, and it's very exciting. The key thing in those brands is being true to the brand. You have to create a kid shoe, but still that ties back to the brand itself. And I think that is the most important thing in building a strong brand for a name like a Michael Kors or Stuart Weitzman and such.
That's great. I mean, we'd love to hear about Stuart Weitzman. That's new to Falc, and I know that you were instrumental in making that all happen. I know that Stuart Weitzman has also a new relationship with Claris, so they're really picking the best of the best. And I'd love to hear about how that happened and what to expect.
Yeah, so it was talking about coming full circle. So our second license that we ever got at Sinclair was Stuart Weitzman. At that time, Stuart was running the business himself with his team, and it was great. The business was going great and was a great model. Kid shoes at that time, there was a lot of avenues for selling. There was a lot of distribution. We were feeling really good about things. And Stuart was at the point of retirement, and he sold the business to Tapestry, which was Coach. And at that time, they really weren't doing any licenses. Coach is not a big licensing brand in itself. So when our license came up, it kind of just went away, which was kind of sad for me because it feels like your baby when you first start the brand off in the world. But fast forward a few years, and Claris decides to buy Stuart Weitzman from Tapestry. And some of the people that were there at the very beginning with Stuart are still there. And we both reached out to each other, basically, and said, hey, let's get this going again. And it's great because I think that when you think about the ups and downs of our business, brands were very popular. Then a lot of those brands kind of went away. And I think you're starting to see a resurgence of certain brands in the kids world. So working again with the Stuart Weitzman team, again, some of the people there we've known forever. And Sandi, as you said, once you're in here and you know the people and you know the players, not much changes in this world. As much as things change, they stay the same, right? So yeah, it's a very exciting venture, especially for Falc USA. We own our own brand. So this is our first venture on the USA side as a license. So that's very exciting for us.
That's super exciting. Peter, can you tell us a little bit about the brands that you oversee and manage at Falc USA and what makes each of them special?
So yeah, great. So our two main brands are Naturino and Falcotto. Those are our kids' brands. That's how the company started. So they're great premier brands in the kids' world, all leather product, a little bit higher price point than your regular shoes, but it's aspirational folk. From there, we moved into the adult market. And a few years ago, we bought the brand Flower Mountain, which is a unique hiking kind of brand with a Japanese design styling to it, which is very unique. And then we have Wall Blanche, which is a French-based company that we bought a few years back, and we're doing great with that. And then we have Candace Cooper, and we round that out with Wiz. So we have a bunch of brands that we bought through the years in the adult market. We feel that breaking into the adult market is the next step for the company. So that's where we are today. And those are the brands that I cover.
Yeah, those are great brands. I'm a big fan of Wall Blanche and Flower Mountain. They're a lot of fun. They have a total unique style to them. They're on trend and leading the trends, to be honest with you. I love the European feel and look and the design, but mostly the quality is just far beyond. I'm a big fan of Falc. I've known the group for a long time, so I'm glad you're there leading the charge. Tell us a little bit about what's to come next, right? So it feels like the kids division is doing really well. You just brought on a new license. Are you looking to bring on more, or are you looking to really just focus on what you have and expand those brands?
Well, so when I came to the company, I came with the idea of bringing some newness to it. So it was serendipitous that Stuart was bought by Colaris at the same time that I came on Falc. So it was great and coming together. But right now is status quo. We're looking to just continue to grow our brands and to introduce Stuart back into the market. But you always keep your eyes open. You're always looking for what's new and what's exciting in there. And you never know what opportunity presents itself on a short time or a long time. You just never know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll continue to do what we're doing, but yeah, we're always got our eyes open.
Open to new opportunities. That's good. That's great for our listeners too. And also I do want to point out, you have a beautiful showroom at 1370 where you show during market weeks. What's your summer plan for where you're going to be showing? Tell our listeners where they can come by and see your lines.
Yeah, so of course, at the Fannie Market, our showroom will be open during the Fannie Market week. We'll also be in Atlanta. We'll be at Brand Assembly. We're going to be in Dallas. So yeah, we have several shows, the main shows that we're always at, but you could always come see us in New York at our main showroom.
Love it. I know you touched on you're keeping it going, kind of doing the status quo right now. Do you see any big opportunities, specifically in kids footwear right now, that brands and retailers should be paying attention to?
It's a very interesting market nowadays with social media coming to play, and everybody's looking at what's the next best thing. But in the kids' world, it stays a little bit more status quo. I think mom's looking for a comfortable shoe, and she's looking for that price value quotient to say, this is a good shoe at a good price. And it's not going to hurt my child's foot. It's going to help my child grow. But again, it's a forever changing market today. So it's hard to pinpoint any one thing that you could say is the next best thing.
That's great. And I know now that you've had some time at Falc, you've brought on some new members to your team, but tell me a little bit about when you were coming up and getting your experience, like who were some of the mentors in your life and how did they shape you as the next president of a big footwear company?
Surprisingly, my years at BCNY I learned a lot while I was there with Bruce and Evan Cagner. They taught me quite a bit about the footwear industry, especially in the licensing side of things. But I can say that most of the best knowledge I got was working actually with the brands themselves. Meeting Michael Kors, meeting Stuart Weitzman, talking to the Cole Haan people, just being in those big brands and just absorbing the information that they would give you on a daily basis about the brand, about how they operate. It was a real great experience for me, able to see so many different brands and how they operate. How does Michael Kors design their shoes? How do their merchandising teams work? How do you compare that with Cole Haan or Stuart Weitzman or Tommy Hilfiger owned by PVH, a $6 billion brand? All of those things, all of that I just absorbed it all, and it just helped me become who I am today.
Is there a specific story that sticks out to you, like a specific experience that built you into who you are today?
No specific story per se that I could say. One very interesting story that I always tell is when we first introduced high wedge shoes for young girls. As a joke, my designer made a 55-inch wedge platform shoe for Michael Kors, and we introduced it, and Michael absolutely loved it. And he said, "We have to have this. We have to sell this shoe." What's that?
Did you say 55 inches?
55 millimeters. I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly. It's just 55 millimeters, not 55 inches. I'm sorry. It was a very tall wedge. It's a wedge a girl would wear, a woman would wear, but certainly not a young girl. And it was a blowout. Michael was spot on, and it was just goes to show you his expertise in the field, even though it was kids. From that moment on, we were selling high wedge shoes, and all the buyers said, "Not for me, but I'm going to buy it for somebody else." And everybody bought them and sold them very well. So that was a very interesting thing.
That's funny. That's surprising. But then really nice that you were able to work so closely with the lead designers and people like Michael Kors, like those kind of people. I think those experiences are probably really, really incredible to look back on. Tell me a little bit about 50 years. Falc is celebrating 50 years. What does that mean for the company? Tell us a little bit about the overarching distribution of where Falc is and where they're going.
Yeah, I mean, it's 50 years is a great goal to reach, and we're looking for the next 50 years, of course. But listen, throughout my years, you see brands come and go. They go up, they go down, and they disappear, and they come back. 50 years means a lot because we're in a growth cycle right now. The business is great. It's a global brand. We sell through Europe. We sell through Asia. We have offices around the world. And it really just shows that when you put in good product out there and you really work hard at what you do, you reap the benefits. It started off as a kids company. Now we're a global, all gender brands. And it's just amazing to see the growth and how they've come around, and joining the group and just continuing the growth is super exciting for me. I'm so thrilled to be here and to work with such a great group.
Right. And they're Italian based, right? So again, another connection back to the craftsmanship and the leathers, exactly, and the beautiful product. So that's great. It's a wonderful place to visit as well, right? So
yes. It's not a bad thing when you have to go to Italy to the office.
That's right.
So nice. So Sandi and I are always looking ahead at the trends, a year ahead. What do you predict for 2027 trends?
Oh, that's a good one. I think you're still going to see a big trend towards comfort, and that barefoot is starting to really take a foothold here in the US. It's a big thing in Europe right now. But I still think the big trend is still going to be comfort and that quiet luxury kind of feel. I think that continues to be a big trend into 27.
Yeah, we've been seeing that a lot. And when you were talking about wedges, I just kind of had a flashback. I definitely, as a little middle school girl, had wedges and wanted to wear them. So I can relate to that.
Yeah, for sure. Every little girl wants to wear the wedge, and the parents are a little bit skittish on that, but the little child always seems to win out on those.
Right. Totally into it.
You also will be at Shoes for a Cure in October. I know your team volunteers. Yes. You have shoes there. They're like the hottest shoes that sell at Shoes for Cure at the sale in Chelsea Market in October. So I did want to plug that because you guys are great partners, but also it's great visibility for the brand, and you like working with the 300 other volunteers that we bring on board. So I do want to say thank you for that and your partnership in that. And Selena, who is the CEO, is very involved in that, is also on the board of FDRA. So it's really been fabulous working with you and the whole Falc group. So thank you.
It's a pleasure to do it. It's a great cause, and it's a fun event, and I actually look forward to doing it. So that's great.
Wonderful. So we're going to wrap up today's episode, but we want to say thank you for joining us. How can listeners get in touch with you and the Falc team if they want to come by and set up some time to come see you at the showroom in New York?
Oh, well, thank you for having me on. And we're on Facebook and Instagram with all of our brands. And if you're out there in the world and you're looking for me, I'm on LinkedIn, so you can very easily find me there, but on any social media. But our showroom is at the 1370 building, as you said, so it's easy to find me.
Wonderful. Okay, Christie, any final questions, or are we ready to wrap it up today?
Yeah, Peter, what do you have any advice maybe for the younger generation coming into the footwear industry? Maybe leave us with that today.
Yeah, I think that anybody coming into especially in the kids world, I think the most important thing is having experience. You should work on a shoe floor, learn how to fit shoes, understand what parents need, because that's the most important thing. Understanding what the consumer needs in kids' footwear is a very key to being successful in kids' footwear.
That's great. Start at the bottom, get your basic, get your feet wet, and then work yourself up. It can't go wrong from there, right?
That's right. Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Peter. Really appreciate you coming on today. Looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks during Fanny. I think you'll be at the August 4th cocktail party at Bryant Park Grill.
Yes.
And you could reach out to Peter at any time. So thank you so much. And this Shoe In Show is out.
Shoe In has been brought to you by the FDRA, the Footwear Industries Association focused on retail, trade, politics, and fashion, helping create and enhance conversations on all things footwear. For information about FDRA, visit fdra.org.